States are looking for new ways to pay for transportation projects as more people switch to EVs and revenue from the gas tax is decreasing. By collecting a fee from online shopping and deliveries, states like Colorado and Minnesota are finding alternatives to get the funding they need. I talked with Andrew McLean, an expert in transportation policy, to learn more about the retail delivery fee. Check it out.
There's a lot of buzz around a retail delivery fee. In fact, after we completed this study for Washington State, our team has been invited to numerous, probably a half dozen conferences or meetings in various states to talk about a retail delivery fee. And I think it's coming up for a couple reasons. The first is that states are in search for transportation funding mechanisms that will generate a significant amount of revenue. Every state is facing growing challenges in their transportation fund, and road and bridge maintenance is getting more expensive, and dollars are being stretched farther and farther. And so states are looking at different mechanisms, new ones that can be enacted to make up for the revenue shortfall. And then two, states are also looking for mechanisms that have a nexus to the issue. Transportation dollars historically have been generated from the use of the system, whether that's the fuel tax or motor vehicle fees, registration fees, license fees. Those are all related to the use of the road. A retail delivery fee is certainly related to the use of a road. If someone is having something delivered, they're not going to Target or Walmart to get their goods. Instead, they're having it delivered, but they're still utilizing the road because that delivery vehicle is still utilizing that road to deliver that product to them. So there's a real nexus between what they're getting and the use of the road. And that is why a retail delivery fee makes a lot of sense for a lot of states if they're looking at different sorts of revenue mechanisms.
I wanted to ask you what initially drew you to this area of research and analysis.
Well, what we're finding across the states is that they're looking at future transportation funding mechanisms because we're seeing a rapid decline in the fuel tax revenue. So most states rely on the fuel tax as their largest source of revenue. And across the country, they are seeing a decline in the fuel tax revenue because of increasing adoption of electric vehicles, as well as the increasing fuel efficiency in all vehicles. So because states rely so heavily on the fuel tax, they are looking at alternatives to the fuel tax moving forward to fund road and bridge maintenance. One of those alternatives is a retail delivery fee. 2 states have enacted a retail delivery fee so far, Colorado and Minnesota, and more states are looking at retail delivery fees as one mechanism to help make their highway fund solvent.
At CDM Smith, we understand a thing or two about staying ahead of the curve. The world is facing environmental and infrastructure challenges with lasting implications, so we're building solutions with lasting results. We'll help you embrace what happens next because it's happening now. Learn more at cdmsmith.com/nextisnow. All right, let's get back to it. Can you dig a little bit deeper into how the retail delivery fee actually works? I know you hit on a little bit about why it was introduced, but if you could just flesh that out for us a little bit more.
A retail delivery fee is a relatively simple concept. In both states, in Colorado and Minnesota, in which there is a retail delivery fee on the books, it's simply a small fee that's assessed on the delivery of a taxable item that is delivered by a motor vehicle in the state. So in Colorado, the fee is 28 cents this year, and it's indexed to inflation. In Minnesota, it's 50 cents. So if someone orders a package on Amazon or Walmart or Target and it's delivered to that state, there's a fee that is assessed on that delivery.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the study that your team did with Washington State. I feel like your group is so good at helping these policymakers assess if the fee is right for them. Can you tell us the areas that you dove into specifically during the study?
Washington State, much like every other state, is grappling with some very significant funding challenges. So last year, the Washington legislature said, we want to look at a retail delivery fee, what it could look like in the state and how it could be implemented. So they wanted to model their research and analysis on the law that was adopted in Colorado and Minnesota. And CDM Smith was brought on board to design a small research and study project to look at how a retail delivery fee could be implemented in the state of Washington. We looked at several different aspects of a retail delivery fee. We looked at revenue generation. So, what could a retail delivery fee in the state generate in revenue? What are the equity impacts? So, who is going to be most impacted by a retail delivery fee? Is it low income people? Is it higher income people? Middle income people? Is it people who live in the rural areas or urban areas? Are there different demographics that could be impacted disproportionately from the implementation of a retail delivery fee? We looked at all those aspects. And we also took a look at the revenue distribution, because this particular study was brought forward by the cities and towns to look at revenue for city and town roads and bridges. We looked at what it could look like if that revenue was distributed based on population, based on lane miles, based on regions, so rural or more urban areas. So we took a look at very different revenue distribution factors and provided that analysis to the Washington Joint Transportation Committee in the final report that was delivered last June.
Well, this is some really good stuff, Andrew. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. And yeah, I just really appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.